What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be talking about the 3 common mistakes people do make before and when writing their aircraft maintenance engineering cars exam. This information is something I personally had to ask a lot of people before I wrote my cars exam, so I don't make the same mistakes as others, and I'm here to share with you guys so you guys don't make the same mistakes as others. Number 1, not having a plan. Man, this is the first mistake I see a lot of people do make before writing their cars exam. I remember personally before I wrote my cars exam, right? My first plan was to actually talk to people that have written the cars exam, and I asked them the kind of questions they're gonna ask in the exam. You know, their experience writing the exam, where should I study from? And my second plan was to actually start studying a month before my examination. Man, I remember when I was asking people for their experience, right? A lot of people were telling me, like, you know, they started studying for 7 days, 3 days, 2 days, 1 day before the examination, and they passed. I don't know about you guys, but for me personally, before I can pass any examination, it does not matter if it's cars, if it's any type of examination, I gotta prepare myself. I gotta have a plan. I gotta start studying at least a month before the examination. But if you're really that smart that you can study 2 days, then good, good for you then. But for me personally, and people that can think like me, I would say personally, you gotta start studying at least a month before your examination. And my third plan was to my first 2 weeks was to focus on the book, right? Study the whole book and understand the whole book and understand every chapter on the whole book. My third week was to actually do all the practice questions. And my fourth week was to do all the online practice questions. And the last week before my examination, a week before my examination, was to actually read the whole book all over again, do all the practice question, and do all the online question. And that's how I passed my examination. I did my exam only once, and I passed. And you don't want to be in a situation whereby you do your exam 2-3 times and you do not pass, because for you guys don't know, right? For your first trial, if you don't pass your first trial, then you have to wait a month. If you don't pass your second trial, I think you have to wait 6 months to do your third exam. And you don't want to be in a situation you have to wait 6 months before you can do your examination. You know what I'm saying? So for you guys that are planning to do this cars exam, I personally always suggest you to prepare yourself, have a plan, at least start studying for a month. And I guarantee you, if you can actually do this process, you are going to pass your cars exam. Number 2, thinking the exam is going to be easy. Man, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of people making, and that is because I remember personally when I was in school, right? Cars was actually one of the easiest course. I'm telling you, I was not really studying for cars in school, but I'm here to tell you guys, if you guys do not practice or prepare yourself for this exam, it's not going to be easy. And I'm here to tell you, man, I remember when I was about to write my exam, I was talking to people that wrote the exam. They were all telling me, man, I just studied for 7 days. I just studied for 2 days. Man, that's one of the easiest exams I ever wrote in my life. Bro, it was not. Bro, I prepared myself for a month. And I'm here to tell you guys, it was not still that easy. You know what I'm saying? So for you guys that are trying to write this exam, I'm here to tell you guys, it's not going to be easy. So you got to prepare yourself for all the questions, and you got to make sure you don't listen to people that will be telling you just study for 1 day and you do all the practice questions on the back and that's it. It's going to be the same questions. Nah, it's not going to be the same questions. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of similarity with the questions, but if you do not understand the book, how would you understand the questions? How would you be able to understand the questions? Because I remember when I wrote my exam, right? Yes, the questions, there's a lot of similarities with the questions, right? But the thing is, the way they ask the questions is in a different wordings. So for you to be able to understand the answer, you got to understand every chapter of the book. You got to make sure you read the whole book to understand it. So it's not going to be easy. So for you guys that are preparing to write the exam, it's not the hardest exam you're ever going to do, but I'm telling you, if you do not prepare yourself, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be as easy as you think, because a lot of people will actually give you a lot of false information, you just got to study for 1 day and you pass the exam. I'm here to tell you the real reality, it's not going to be easy. You got to make sure you prepare yourself for the exam. Number 3, not reading and understanding the question during your examination. And this is a personal mistake I made when I was writing my CARS exam. And that is because me going to the examination, right? My personal goal was to get perfect. I wanted to get 100%. And I feel like most of the questions I missed were because I did not read and understand the question. So, like I said, right, there's a lot of similarities with the questions you will actually get in your examination, and also the questions you will actually do, like the practice questions at the back of the book, right? So, when I was writing my exam, right, I was like, oh shit, this question actually looks similar, with the exam, with the practice question that was in my book, right? So I was like, oh shit, this is the answer. I just clicked the answer, and not knowing, like, they actually flip the wordings, they actually flip the answers. So that's why I always suggest you guys, right, when you're studying for your CARS, you got to study to understand. You're not just studying to like, oh, I know the answer of the book, I know the answer at the back of the book. You got to study those practice questions to understand the questions. You got to practice your, study the whole book to understand it. Once you can understand it, now you can actually, know the answer. And when you're doing your examination, you want to read the question at least 2-3 times. And that's something I wish I did. I could have gotten perfect. Although I still passed my exam, it does not matter if you get 100%, if you get 60%, 70%. As far as you get 70% and above, you pass the exam. But me, I was going to the exam because I wanted to get perfect. You know what I'm saying? So for you guys that are planning to write your exam, right, I would suggest you, when you're writing your examination, you want to make sure you read the question at least 2-3 times and make sure you understand, because most of the times they're actually really tricky with the wordings. They can tell you what is let's say what is 527 in your practice question, can be like what is 571. In your examination, they can be like 571 is chapter. You know what I'm saying? So those kind of play of words and those kind of reverse wordings. So that's why I always suggest you guys to study to understand, study to know, okay, what are these? How do these work? You know what I'm saying? So that way, whenever they give you guys a, they try to trick you during your examination, you already know, because you understand the question, right? You understand the book, right? So yeah, those are my few mistakes I see a lot of people do make. And this is something I actually learned from a friend of mine that actually wrote his exam recently, and he told me, like, man, I wish that I listened to you. You know what I'm saying? Because I was giving him the same advice. I'm like, yo, you got to start practicing a month for your exam. You got to make sure you study to understand. You got to make sure you practice all your questions at the back. You got to make sure you do everything all over again. You know what I'm saying? And he failed his exam once. So it was like, man, Peter, I wish I listened to you, because if I have listened to you, I would have passed this exam. You know what I'm saying? So although you have 3 trials and you don't want to be in a situation whereby, me, I always believing in doing exam once and pass. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't want to be in a situation whereby you're doing the exam 2-3 times, it's just stressful. You want to make sure you pass the exam once and forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do the CARS exam never again, unless if your license expires or something. You know what I'm saying? So those are the 3 mistakes I personally see a lot of people do make. And like I said, I'm always here to share with you guys the little information I know. I'm always here to help you guys. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, those are the few common mistakes. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down in the comment section. I want to know what you guys really want, so I can make a video for it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all the love and support. I want to say a big thank you to you guys that have subscribed to this channel. We recently hit 500 subscribers. Man, I don't know how to say thank you. I'm so grateful, and I really appreciate you guys supporting this channel, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get this channel to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I'm gonna try to start making more videos every day now. My schedule is opening up a little bit more, so I got time to be making more videos. Appreciate the love and support. For you guys that are watching, not subscribing, man, show your boy some love and subscribe to this channel, man. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Love you guys.